It's Jonathan Aggoff here for Pro Boxing Fans. Just seen Conor Benn knock out Chris Van Heerden. I'm joined by Froch. Carl, I'm not going to keep you too long. What do you make of the knockout?
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic performance from Ben. I thought he was ferocious, aggressive, high octane, energy fueled performance, and he put Van Heerden on his back foot, smashed him to bits, backed him up, smashed him to bits, Cobra style.
We saw Amir in the ring. I don't think he was too sort of, desiring the fight, but what would you think of that one?
Mismatch. Amir can't take a punch. No disrespect. You can tune into the other channel I've just spoke to. I've got enough respect for Amir without people thinking I'm just hating and I'm writing him off, but he can't take a shot, not even a jab, so he shouldn't be boxing. It's a mismatch.
If not him, who would you like to see? I mean, names like Danny Garcia have been mentioned, Adrian Broner. What do you think?
No, he's not ready for them fighters, I don't think. He can't be stepping up and jumping in with them top level world beaters. He needs to be fighting people like... His side swerved the European and British level, so Echo Asuman from Nottingham. People like him would give him rounds and give him a good fight, maybe even can beat him. I'm a big fan of Echo. I think he's a great fighter. British Commonwealth champion. Then you've got David Avanesian, who's the European champion. He gives Conor Benn really, that's a great fight. You know what I mean? David Avanesian, would love to see that. And they're saying, oh, it's not big enough, name. Okay, the risk-reward ratio might not be there for him, but them sort of fights are the fights that are going to get you there. Just one set, I'll take this. This is my job.
Carl Froch, you're just saying about David Avanesian, you'd like to see it possibly?
Yeah, great fight. Cole Greaves knows what David Avanesian's got. We've seen it against Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly learned you can't play at this game and you've got to be serious. Not saying he wasn't, but when you step up to that European level, you learn a lot, and then you find out how much you want it. And Conor Benn's missing out on these fights that are getting you ready for that level. I won the British title, I won the Commonwealth title, I never got the European title belt, but I had a couple of tricky fights and a couple of distance fights. Charles Adama was my first Commonwealth title fight I went 12 rounds, and that was a tough, hard fight, and I was behind on the card before I dropped him in round 8. Then I finished strong and got, I think it was 116, 113. Marcus McDonald scored that, he was refereeing it, and that was such a big learning fight for me. Commonwealth title fight. I couldn't move for 2 weeks after that fight. Every bone in my body was aching for 2 weeks, and I knew I'd been in a fight. I got paid 15 measly grand as well for that. But anyway,
so saying he needs more experience is what you're trying to say?
Of course he does. He needs them fights. He's not getting them. He's been the distance a couple of times. Yes, he's been on the floor and got up to win, but he needs to get that experience at top level, or at least a certain kind of a level. And European titles back in the day used to give you a top 10 WBC ranking, and that's for a reason, because it gets you ready for that level. You can't jump in with a Keith Thurman or even an Adrian Broner. You can't do it. It's physically impossible. And I might be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. Tony Sims trains him, and I'm really good friends with Tony Sims. He knows the sport inside out. He spent over a decade with me in my corner. He knows the sport, and he's doing a real good job with Conor Benn, sparring and the training. He's getting him in shape, and I do believe in them, and I do think they're going to go on to become world champions. Conor Benn will be a world champion. I just don't think you can jump straight in there with that level, and I hope I'm wrong, because if he ends up taking a big fight, a big chance, taking the risk versus reward in terms of the reward's great, because the risk's going to be big against one of them world beaters. If he pulls it off, then I'll happily eat my words, but I'd love to see him get more and more experience at a certain level, European level. There's no real gatekeepers at that level. You know what I mean? The Amir Khan fight's not even worth talking about. Kell Brook fight's a good one. You know what I mean? And then on from there, but it's difficult. If I was matchmaking Conor Benn now, I'd go back to the British and European level. That's where I'd go. And the David Avanesian fight is a great fight.
Oh, we'll definitely leave it there. Appreciate your time.